Welcome back to our channel Coin Study. If you're new here, welcome, make sure to subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, and press the bell icon so you never miss our uploads about rare and valuable coins. Today we have a special deep dive into a modern American classic, the Sacagawea dollar from the year 2000, with the D mint mark from Denver. You might have seen this coin in pocket change, in collections, or in museum displays, and you might have noticed its warm golden color and thought, at first glance, that it could be made of gold. Today we will explore everything about this coin, and right at the start I want to be completely clear, despite its golden appearance, this coin is not made of gold or silver. Its golden hue comes from a manganese brass outer layer over a copper core, a choice made by the US Mint to create a durable, distinctive coin that stands out in circulation. That truth is important, and we'll explain why the Mint chose this composition and how it affects value and collecting. Slow down, take a breath, and imagine holding this coin in your hand. Feel its light weight, see its smooth edge, study the portrait on the obverse and the eagle on the reverse. That immediate visual impact is the reason the Sacagawea dollar became so recognizable the moment it was released. The sculptural details, the facial expression, the child on the mother's back, all of these design elements were chosen carefully to honor a real person from American history and to give the coin an emotional connection not often found in modern circulating currency. Now let's travel back to where the story begins, not at a mint, but at the life of the woman who inspired the portrait. Sacagawea was a Lemhi Shoshone woman, born around 1788 in what is now Idaho. Her life was marked by hardship from a young age. As a child she was captured by a Hidatsa raiding party and taken far from her home. As a teenager she married Toussaint Charbonneau, a French-Canadian fur trader, and fatefully joined the Lewis and Clark expedition as an interpreter and guide. Pregnant during part of the journey, she gave birth to her son Jean-Baptiste and continued to travel, sometimes carrying the infant on her back. Her knowledge of the land, her ability to communicate with tribes, and the simple fact of a woman and child traveling with the expedition signaled peaceful intentions to native groups they encountered, a vital contribution that historians agree helped the Corps of Discovery navigate difficult diplomatic situations and survive the harsh conditions of the American West. This combination of bravery, skill, and quiet influence is the core reason the U.S. government chose to honor Sacagawea on a modern dollar coin at the turn of the millennium. Jump ahead to the late 1990s and the problem the U.S. Mint faced. Coins meant for circulation must be distinctive and practical. The Susan B. Anthony dollar, issued in 1979, had failed largely because it was too easily confused with other coins, especially the quarter. For a new dollar coin, the Mint wanted distinct color and tactile characteristics so the public would accept it and vending machines could reliably recognize it. At the same time, Congress wanted a design that celebrated American history and culture. In 1997 the Presidential $1 Coin Act was approved, and the new Sacagawea dollar was released in January of 2000. The choice of Sacagawea was meant to highlight the contributions of Native Americans and women in U.S. history, and to provide a compelling, modern image for everyday use. The design process involved several artists and sculptors. Glenna Goodacre designed the obverse portrait, choosing to depict Sacagawea looking over her shoulder with her infant son on her back. Because no authenticated likenesses of Sacagawea exist, Goodacre used a living model, Randy L. Teton, a Shoshone-Bannock woman, as inspiration. This decision gave the portrait an authentic Native American presence rather than an imagined or historically inaccurate depiction. The expression captured in the portrait is calm yet resolute. You can see both the softness of motherhood and the strength of someone who traveled over rough terrain and contributed to the survival of a landmark expedition. On the reverse, sculptor Thomas D. Rogers Sr. originally created a soaring bald eagle surrounding a sunburst, symbolizing freedom and the spirit of the nation. When the coin entered circulation, collectors and critics immediately began studying every detail: the lines in Sacagawea's hair, the angles of the child's face, the eagle's feathers, and the 17 stars which represent the states in the Union at the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition. If you look closely at many Sacagawea dollars, you'll also notice the mint mark, in this case a small d, indicating the Denver Mint. The mint mark is small but crucial to collectors, because mintage figures and the characteristics of individual mint facilities affect rarity and condition. Now let us look at the physical specifics so you can describe the coin exactly on camera. The Sacagawea dollar weighs 8.1 grams and measures 26.5 millimeters in diameter. It has a smooth edge, unlike quarters or dimes that typically have reeded edges. The core of the coin is pure copper, and the outer layers are a manganese brass alloy that gives the coin its golden color. The exact composition is 88.5% copper, 6% zinc, 3.5% manganese, and 2% nickel. This composition was chosen to produce a coin that is durable, corrosion-resistant, and noticeably different from other circulating coins. Emphasize to your viewers that the golden look is an optical and chemical result of the alloy, not actual precious metal content. That clears up a common misconception and earns you credibility. Next, we should talk about production and mintage. The Denver Mint, marked with a D, struck hundreds of millions of Sacagawea dollars in the early 2000s for general circulation. Many of these coins entered everyday commerce, others were produced in uncirculated rolls and special collector sets. The Mint also released proof versions aimed at collectors with a higher quality finish. Production numbers vary by year and mint, and some specific issues, for example, early promotional releases, are far scarcer than the mass circulation pieces. One of the most fascinating parts of the Sacagawea story is the existence of special promotional issues and minting anomalies that collectors prize. For example, the so-called Cheerios dollar was a special release where a small number of Sacagawea dollars with enhanced tail feathers were packaged in boxes of Cheerios as a promotion. Estimates suggest only a few thousand of these promotional coins were distributed, and their different appearance makes them instantly recognizable and highly collectible. Another known variety is the Wounded Eagle type, where die gouges make the eagle appear to have a spear-like line across its body. Collectors track down examples, and these error coins often command premiums. There are also the expected physical errors that can occur in mass minting: off-center strikes, double strikes, clipped planchets, and die breaks. Off-center strikes show part of the design shifted away from the center, double strikes reveal ghosted duplicate images. Clipped planchets have missing material, and die breaks can cause raised lines or blobs on the surface. Each of these errors can turn a $1 coin into a valuable collectible, especially if the error is dramatic and the coin is otherwise in good condition. Now let's discuss grading and condition, which determine value for serious collectors. The most commonly used scale is the Sheldon scale, which ranges from poor 1 up to mint state 70. A circulated Sacagawea dollar with visible wear will often be worth little more than face value, perhaps $1 to $3 depending on buyer interest. A brilliant uncirculated coin graded MS 60 to MS 63 might sell for a modest premium, maybe $5 to $20. Higher mint state grades, such as MS 65 or above, reflect exceptional strike, luster, and absence of contact marks. Such coins can fetch hundreds of dollars from collectors. For rare varieties or errors, certified grades from major services like PCGS or NGC become vital. Authentication proves the coin's story and often multiplies its auction value. Market value also depends on demand and current trends. Over the years, Sacagawea dollars have enjoyed steady collector interest due to their unique design and the cultural importance of Sacagawea. Auction records show that typical circulation strike coins trade for small premiums, but specially graded or error pieces can cross 4 or even 5 figures when the right collector is bidding. If you're planning to mention prices in your video, be careful to frame them as approximate and time-sensitive. Coin markets move, and a good practice is to suggest viewers check the latest auction results or consult grading services for precise values. When presenting this on camera, walk your viewers through how to inspect a coin. Start with the obverse and note anywhere on high points like Sacagawea's cheekbone, the baby's head, and the woman's clothing folds. On the reverse, examine the eagle's feathers and the stars for clarity. Run a soft light over the surface to reveal luster and hairlines, and use a magnifier to look for die breaks or doubling. If viewers suspect an error or rare variety, advise them to photograph the coin clearly, keep it in a protective sleeve, and seek authentication from PCGS, NGC, or a reputable auction house. Collector advice extends to storage and handling. Always handle coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints and skin oils that can damage surfaces. Store coins in inert materials, mylar flips, acid-free holders, or sealed capsules, and avoid PVC-based plastics that can react with metal. Keep coins in a stable, moderate environment away from humidity and rapid temperature changes. For the most valuable pieces, consider a bank safety deposit box or a secure home safe. Also, maintain records, provenance, purchase receipts, grading certificates, and provenance stories add intangible value and buyer confidence when you sell. Now let's add some storytelling detail about the Lewis and Clark expedition and Sacagawea's role to keep your audience engaged. Picture the core of discovery in a fragile canoe on a cold river, struggling against current and weather. Imagine Sacagawea, not just as a historical name on a plaque, but as a young mother carrying her son, cooking and foraging, translating and guiding.